Tio. The beckoning call of the Samodiva stilled his feet, his name floating toward him like a whisper on the wind. His muscles tense, he scanned the forest for the hostile woodland nymph who hunted prey for her amusement. She was nowhere in sight. He opened his mouth to warn his friend Pavel a few feet in front of him, but closed it, not wanting to disclose their location. Tio. Again she summoned him, the sound closer. Instinct told him to run, hide, before she enchanted him. But where was she? He shivered as a flash of white flitted around the towering pines. Early morning light filtered through the canopy of branches, casting red streaks across the nymph's garment. She disappeared in a blur, dissolving like mist. His lips trembled. Where had she gone? The forest became eerily quiet, as if the predator lurked nearby. Until this moment, he had thought stories about Samodivi were fairy tales, but perhaps the legends held a grain of truth. A stick cracked. Another streak of white darted closer, concealing itself within the shadows of a gnarled oak. Now wasn't the time to speculate about the creatures if he wanted to live. Hide! Tio rushed toward Pavel, gripping his friend's wrist and pulling him behind a half-destroyed stone wall covered with ivy and blackberries. No way would the Samodiva enchant them with her melodic voice if the stories were true. Pavel whispered, "What's the matter?" "White flashes! Samodivi!" He dropped a pair of mechanical wings on the ground and crossed his arms over his chest to keep them from shaking. It was stupid to come to the stone forest so he could try to fly. Yes, the rocky hill was the highest point in the village, and the robust wind would launch him skyward, if the wings actually worked. But now that he huddled at the base of the ancient pagan site, goosebumps held a family gathering on his arms. Nonsense. Pavel peered around the corner. There's gotta be a logical explanation for any white lights you saw. If you really did. Maybe gas escaping from the ground. What about the ring of flowers we passed? Tio's breath hitched. That's gotta be where the shepherd was killed last week. Older residents in the village gossiped that small, white blossoms dotted the ground at the murder site, flowers that hadn't flourished there before. They cited this as proof that the delicate feet of the nymphs had trod upon the soil. They're just flowers. My mom's got a bunch in her garden. But he had a kaval clenched in his fist.